Another session of Fit Essentials. My name is Shauna. I'll be guiding you through class. We're going to go ahead and come on down to the floor to start today. All right. Go ahead and make your way on down to your mat. And we're going to start by stretching out the forearms, and then we'll go into some breathing. So we're going to go palms down, fingers point in. Set the knees, just very gently lean back here, and you can rotate side to side. Pulling the midline in. Starting to connect into your breath. From there, we're going to turn the hands in, interlace the fingers, and then we're going to rotate around. Very good. Go ahead and switch directions. Rotate the other way. Swivel through the hips. One more time. And go ahead and come on off. Shake out those wrists. Roll the wrist around in little mini circles. Other direction. All right, from here, we're going to go into some breathing. Cat-cow mobility as well. Nice wide handprint. Just underneath the shoulders. We're going to exhale, pull the belly in, drop that head down. Allow it to be nice and heavy. And then you're going to inhale, pull the shoulders back and down, lift the chest. About 5 to 8 cycles here. Exhale, drop through. And inhale, lift. Shoulders back and down. Try not to crunch into that low back, just lifting. See if you can breathe in through the nose and then gently out through the mouth. Really lifting up through the shoulders. Allow the head to be heavy. Few more. Let's go one more cycle. When you finish that last breath, let's take it into child's position. Toes together, knees divide, reach those arms straight out and sink back from here. Let's get a nice stretch into the back, into the lat areas. You can gently rock your body side to side through the torso. Reaching those arms long throughout. All right, fantastic. From here, we're gonna go right into our first series. We're gonna come onto our side, left arm side plank clamshell. So go ahead and pull that arm in. You want to stack it just underneath those shoulders. And we're going to do the version without the band today. So I'm going to hold this top leg up the whole time. From here, when you're ready, join me. You're coming up on the knee, hips lift straight up to the sky, and then you're going to start pushing your belly button forward, back and down. Leg stays up and parallel. Hips high, hips forward. Squeezing the glute. And that's your rhythm. Up and drive. Get some good activation through that side body here, as well as the downside glute. Couple more. Pausing in that top position. Last one. Squeeze, down, and rotate. Very nice. From here, we're going to come into down dog, knee to elbow. So nice wide handprint. Turn the toes under. When you're ready, you're going to drive the hips straight up. Start by pulsing that head between the arms. And then as you come forward, lifting up to that mid body, pull the knee towards the same side shoulder. Drive back. Breathe in, come forward, opposite leg. Exhale, pushing back. Inhale, coming forward. We're going to go a full minute here. We're 20 seconds in. It's our first of 3 rounds. Lifting up through those shoulders, gently rounding through that back to make some space for that leg to come forward. And you can practice pausing for just that moment, showing control, knee to the elbow. Breathe in, driving back and up and forward. Good, 15 seconds. Very good. You're driving long, last one. And rest. Good job. Coming on down, we're gonna swing it around, side plank clamshell on the right side. Pulling that elbow in. Stack those knees on top of each other. Top leg's gonna lift up and we're holding it up the whole time. When you're ready, push up off the knee, drive those hips forward. Back and down. 30 seconds here. We're doing some overhead pressing next. If you don't feel ready for an overhead press, you can do an overhead reach. It's gonna be 30 seconds on each arm. So it'll be a single arm overhead press. We're gonna do it from a seated position if you're comfortable to do that. It's called a Z press. Let's go one more here, back and down, up and forward, and go ahead and rest. Very good. From there, let's go ahead. If you want to sit on a block for these overhead presses, you can. Start in your non-dominant arm first. Sit up nice and tall, starting right up here at the shoulder. Should be a light to moderate weight. And when you're ready, pushing straight up, elbow comes forward. Exhale as you push, inhale as you lower. You can also have the legs straight out. I've gone with a crisscross position here. When we're using just the upper body here by sitting down, it takes out that hip action, forces a little bit more control. Good, maybe one or two more. And rest and rotate. Same thing, opposite arm. 2, 1, and begin. Straight up and elbow forward. Exhale as you drive, nice and smooth. There you go, bringing that weight straight over top of your head. So we're not pressing out to the side. Very nice. That's 20 seconds, 10 to go. We'll do a short stretch, and that will be the end of set 1. We'll be going back to our side plank clamshells. And 2, 1, and go ahead and rest. Fantastic. Set that weight down. From here, we're going to come back to all fours, and we're going to get some mid-back extension. So our thoracic rotations. So from all fours, we're going to go hand behind the head, elbow to the elbow, lift up, rotate, peer over that shoulder. Let's get 5 on each side. Breathe in and exhale as you rotate. Very nice. Peering over that elbow, pausing in that open position. That's where you get the most out of the movement. When you're ready, same thing other side. Nice wide handprint, good support. Elbow to that opposite elbow, lift up, peer up. Breathe in to close, exhale as you pivot. One or two more. And relax. All right, fantastic. Let's make your way onto your left side. We're going back to our side plank clamshells, beginning in 10. So pulling that elbow in just underneath the shoulder, knees are bent, and we're gonna hold this top leg up the whole time. 2, 1, here we go. Hips go up towards the sky, hips go forward towards your screen, more than likely. Straight up, straight forward, making sure not to overarch the low back. And you're on that knee, yep. Sometimes you need to put a little double mat there if your knee's a little bit sensitive, if your floor is a little bit more firm. Over 20 seconds in. You can also pay attention to what's going on at the downside shoulder. Make sure you're lifting up and out of that. And 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. We're coming back to all fours. Down dog, knee to elbow. This round, we're gonna go alternating elbows. So you'll go right knee to the left elbow, left knee to the right elbow. Turn those toes under, and 2, 1, here we go. So pushing back into down dog. And then as you come forward, lifting up through your mid body, bringing the knee to the opposite elbow. Driving back, coming forward, knee across. Exhale as you push back. Get a nice opening through that mid back. Inhale, coming forward. Good, we got a full minute here. Anytime you need a little bit of a break, come down to your knees, take a moment. And then if you feel like you can come back and join us, come on back in. That's halfway. So you can still keep with that breathing of in through the nose as you come forward, out through the mouth as you drive back. Good, hips nice and high. Take that moment, really get that mid back to open, lengthen through the arms. Maybe one more. And 2, 1, and come on down. All right, side plank clamshell on your right side. Swing it around. Nice work, pull that elbow in, stack the knees. Top leg lifts up, and here we go. Straight up first, then coming forward. Back, down. Good. Up. It's always a little awkward. One of the ones kind of nice and you can just do in the comfort of your home. But hey, who cares? Help get good muscle activation, help prevent injuries of the spine, strengthen through the hips, midline, even some shoulder work here. Straight up, straight forward, we're almost there. And 2, 1, and rest, good work. Coming back to that seated position for our single arm overhead press. If you want to go a little bit heavier, you can, or just stay with what you've been working with. Non-dominant arm to start. Either cross the legs or have them stretch straight out. And I'm sitting on a block here. I just feel better when I have my hips slightly elevated. All right, non-dominant arm in 2, 1. Here we go, straight up. Nice. Yep. Try not to rock through it, just straight through, lift, and control down. That looks better. Yep, just moving through the shoulder. That's 20 seconds. And 2, 1, and rest. Good job. Go ahead and switch arms. Same thing other side, and begin. Straight up and control down. Nice. There you go. Nice smooth push to overhead. Looks great. Halfway through. Excellent job. Couple more. And 2, 1, and all done there. Fantastic. All right, we're going to come up to a kneeling position if you're comfortable to kneel. And we're going to go into our behind the back stretch this time. So ribs down, interlace the hands behind you, pull those shoulders back, and lift up those arms. From here, we'll just gently rotate side to side. Feel like you want to bow forward a little bit from the knees, you can. Feels a little bit different than when you're standing. You can gently bow forward from the hips, pull those arms up, and then come on back up when you're ready. Very good. From there, just a short little side stretch. One hand on the hip, reaching across, palm up towards the sky. Very good. And then same thing other side. Stretch, reach. Beautiful. Let's go one more each way, and then we'll get into our third and final round. Stretching it across and back and stretch long. Fantastic. All right, we're going to get started here in 10 seconds. Final round starting on your left side for those side plank clamshells. Pull that elbow in, stack the knees, ready, and begin. Hips up, hips forward. Very good. Yep. Going for 30 seconds. If you're wondering, we have done a variation of this with the bands, where you put it around the legs, keep the feet together, lift those legs up and down, holding up side plank the whole time. So just showing a little bit different variation here. This is the first version I ever learned personally. And 2, 1, and rest. Very good. From that side plank clamshell into our down dog, alternating knee to elbow. Nice wide handprints. And we have a full minute on this one. So stay patient, stay long in that stretch. Here we go. Use that stretch, that push back to lengthen the body. See if you can kind of start to drop the heels towards the ground. And then as you come forward, lifting up to that midline, bringing that knee across towards that opposite elbow. Exhale as you drive back. Nice smooth inhale as you come forward. Fantastic. Yep, crossing that midline of the body. We're over halfway here, just over 30 seconds in. Wonderful. Heels drop down towards the floor as you push back. That's over 45, just about 10 seconds left. Get 1 or 2 more. And rest. Fantastic. Coming on down, swinging around onto your right side. We'll finish up those side plank clamshells. Pull that elbow in, stack the knees, lift that top leg, and here we go. Hips up, hips forward, back and down. Feel free if you want to close the eyes here, feel your body move. Very good. Halfway through. Also rest this hand on the hip if you'd like. Just get into the habit of reaching it up, whatever feels comfortable for you. Last one. And rest. Fantastic. Swing it around if you want to sit on your block or a pillow. Our final overhead press for this section. You want to go a little bit heavier again, or just stay with what you're using. Non-dominant arm in 2, 1, and here we go. Straight up. Think about your head and neck position too. So you want chin in, head stacked straight over the shoulders, shoulders stacked straight over the hips. Very good. Exhale as you drive, bringing that ear towards the shoulder, bringing that weight straight over the center of the head. Good, almost there. And 2, 1, and rest. Same thing other side. Ready, here we go. Drive, control. Excellent work. Yep, staying focused. Just over halfway. Bring that elbow straight forward as you lower. And 2, 1, and all done there. Excellent work. All right, just a little more mobility. And we'll get into our next circuit. We'll be coming up to our feet. We're gonna do either a single arm deadlift or a deadlift high pull, whichever version you find best for yourself. So let's go ahead and come onto our backs. Stretch out that low back just a bit here. So gradually lower yourself down. Pull the shoulders back and down, and we're gonna start by hugging both legs into the chest. Just gently rock that low back and your torso gently side to side here. Loosen everything up. Everything's feeling good there. Let's take it into 2-knee twist, arms out to the side. Take both legs to one side, turn the head, look over that opposite shoulder. And you get to determine here, hold strong in that midline, decide how far you want to go into that twist, and then we'll take it the other way. Nice and smooth. 2 to 3 times each direction, switching when you feel ready. Remembering to turn the head as well. Get a nice full twist there through the spine. Up and across. Very good. Go ahead and balance yourself out on each side. And then we're just going to do one little set of glute bridges here. Get a little bit more activation of the glutes, opening up the front of the hips a bit more as well. So if you need to readjust those shoulders, pull the chin in. We're going to drive straight up through those hips. Fire the glutes, squeeze, lengthening through that low back, and then gradually bringing it down. After that regular glute bridge, you can stick with that or join me for the bridge and reach. So I'm gonna bridge the hips up, come all the way up into that full bridge. I'm gonna drive into my right leg as I reach my right hand up and over my left shoulder. I come down in between sides, and then again, I lift up into that bridge, and now my left leg drives down, left arm reaches across, and coming back and through. Let's get 1 or 2 more on each side. Hips up, and reach, really bridging up, down, drive, and across. Very good. Last time each side. Hips up and reach, pushing through that upper body as well. All right, fantastic. From there, let's go ahead and come on up. It's gonna take a moment here. We're gonna go into a seated position. Let's extend your right leg straight out, cross that left leg over, sit nice and tall. Just a little short seated twist here. Hug the leg in, and then take your left hand, crawl them around, sitting as tall as you can, and turn the head peer over that shoulder. I invite you to close those eyes. Let's take 3 nice smooth breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Lengthen as you breathe. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, gently invite yourself a little bit deeper into that twist. One more time. Very good. When you're ready, gradually unwind out of that and make your way to the opposite side. Your left extends, right leg crosses over, hugging it in. And now you can work your right arm. Crawl those fingers around, lengthening through that neck as you turn the head, peer over that shoulder. If you'd like to close the eyes from there, let's go 3 breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Breathe in confidence, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, release any anxiety or stress. One more time. And gradually come on out. All right, we've been on the ground for a while. Let's go ahead and make our way on up. Grab a drink of water if it's convenient. And do a couple more activities to get ready for our next circuit. We're gonna go single arm deadlift or high pull. Then we'll go overhead press, opposite arm deadlift or high pull, and either a rest break or some cross crawl patterns. But first, let's see where our mobility is for the back side of our body. We're gonna do our Jefferson toe touch. Walk the feet in so the toes are pointing straight ahead. Stand tall, pull your midline in. You're gonna tuck your chin down towards your chest, and then you're gonna gradually slide the hands down the legs, rounding through the spine as you reach down for the ground. See how far you can reach down. Allow that head to be heavy, just hanging for a moment here. Keep it a little bend in those knees. And then just kind of take note, can you touch the ground? Is it tough for you to get past the shins or to the ankles? We'll talk about some recommendations based upon your mobility here. 1 or 2 more breaths. When you're ready, start to push through your feet. Gradually make your way on up, tucking those hips under and coming all the way up to the top. All right, fantastic. Set those feet a little bit wider. Just kind of shake out those shoulders, step it side to side. Next, we're gonna go our stagger stance. Good morning here. So you're gonna walk those feet back in, toes pointing straight ahead. You're gonna take your left foot, extend it straight out, get a little bend in that left knee with that foot firmly planted, and then we're gonna go hands behind the head here. Standing tall, you're gonna bow forward. We're just looking to say hello to that hamstring, and we're practicing that long spine, tall chest posture that we're gonna use here on the deadlifts. So long spine, bowing forward. Let's get 2 to 3 more. Keeping the weight planted into that right heel. Shoulders pulled back, neck nice and long. Good, last one. And come on up. In between sides, set the feet a little bit wider. Go ahead and bow forward, hands on the top of the knees, bottom of the thighs, and now we're gonna twist, driving the leg out with the hand as you look over that opposite shoulder. Breathe in, come to center, and exhale, gently twist, looking over the other shoulder. Let's go 2 to 3 on each side. Just a little stretch here for the inner thighs. Just a little bit more twisting through the mid body in a little bit different fashion. Breathe in and twist and come on up. Very good. We're gonna go single leg good morning on that opposite side. So walking those feet back in, toes straight ahead, standing tall. Now your left foot's gonna root down nice and solid through the heel as your right foot extends. Toe up, heel down. Hands behind the head, standing tall, bowing forward. Long spine. Drive through that left foot as you come up to the top. Yep. Head down as you bow forward. Keep that neck in alignment with the rest of your spine. And stand. 2 to 3 more. Pausing in the bottom. Just say hello to the back of that leg. On this side, I feel a little bit more in the back of my knee, back of my calf on that outstretched leg. It's all about where your body's holding the most tension on that moment. All right, beautiful job. Go ahead and finish that up. And then let's just gently circle those hips around. 3 to 5 one way. And 3 to 5 the other. Hip circles are a great time to remember to smile because it always feels a little goofy. Kind of like, feel like the hula girls, have some fun with it. Shake it all out. All right. Let's go ahead. We're going to be doing 5 rounds of this circuit here. So if you're not familiar with it, not really sure what to do, just kind of watch this first round, learn, see what we're doing. And then when you're ready, go ahead and jump on in. I'll be rolling right through it, but those of you here live, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to come on off and ask. And for the first round, I'm going to demo the single arm deadlift. On rounds 2 and 4, I'm going to be doing the high pull. After round one, if you want to do that high pull every time, you're welcome to it. So just kind of have preparation. When we go shoulder to overhead, you're either going to hold one dumbbell by each each head, or you'll have 2 dumbbells in each hand, but we're going to go overhead together. All right, starting with the weight in your non-dominant arm, and 2, 1, here we go. Bowing forward and squeeze the glutes and stand. So I mentioned that I would talk about if you had trouble touching the toes. If you didn't watch the intro videos, I recommend on the deadlift. If it's tough for you to touch the toes, then I don't recommend going all the way to the floor when we're doing these movements. You want to go only as far down as you can hold a nice solid position. So bowing forward, knees drive out, chin in. Good. 1 or 2 more. Over, up, and rest. Very good. Second, just need to decline the call. All right, and getting ready for that shoulder to overhead next. Elbows forward, and here we go. So you can either strict press, pushing straight up without any assist to the legs, or we can do what we call a push press, where we dip down, just a little quarter squat, sit back into the heels, knees drive out, and straight up from there. Really key here, chest stays tall. You don't want to dip forward. You can go a little slower, or you can sink right in one to the next, just depending on what you want your tempo to be. And there's our 30 seconds. Go ahead and rest. Very nice. From here, we're headed back to that single arm deadlift, this time opposite side of the body. So a little bit wider base stance, chest nice and tall, slight bend in those knees, and here we go. Bowing forward, squeeze the glutes. You're standing straight up, stacking those shoulders right over the hips. Good. There you go. Maybe just a little bit more bend in those knees, Sharon. Drive those knees out. Drive the hips back. That looks better. You're hinging. And the knees do some work as well, keeping that spine nice and flat. 20 seconds in, 10 to go. And 2, 1, and rest. All right, go ahead and set that weight down. Cross crawl patterns are next. So standing tall, whenever you're ready, we're gonna go straight arm, straight leg. This would be kind of like level 1 here. Level 2, knee to elbow. Very good. Or you can go behind the body as well. And if anybody wants more heartbeat here, harder breathing, you could go regular jumping jacks also. All right, very nice. Think about another 10 seconds here. We'll change it up a little bit. Next round, we'll go some march and punch. And 2, 1, and rest. All right, that's set 1. We're gonna take 30 seconds. We'll be back for set 2. So go ahead and grab a little drink of water. Keep your hydration going. And now this is the round that I'm gonna demo the high pull. Feel free if you wanna stick with just that deadlift, not just, if you wanna stick with the deadlift, that's fantastic. If you wanna go a little bit harder, incorporate a little bit more upper body, it's gonna be elbows straight up past the shoulder. Going in 5, standing tall, non-dominant arm to start. 2, 1, here we go. Bowing forward, standing tall, elbow pulls through. So it should be a light to moderate weight. And if you have any pinching in the front of the shoulder, I don't advise continuing to push through. Maybe having just a little bit of some impingement action happening. Very common, I wouldn't freak out about it. Keep stretching. Always reach out to me if you want any specific guidance. But you just don't want to irritate the body, right? If the body's like, hey, that doesn't feel good, then listen to that. Bowing forward, standing tall, driving the hips, elbow follows through. And rest. Good job. Shoulder to overhead is next. Either holding one weight just underneath the chin or one in each arm. Check in with your feet, toes straight ahead. Here we go. Either strict press or that little dip and drive. Maybe you want to slow it down as well. You could go alternating press. If you tend to hold a lot of tension in the upper traps, maybe you don't want to have quite as many reps. Go one arm at a time, alternating sides. Otherwise, both arms together. Good, that's 20 seconds, 10 to go. Chin in, stay tall, great posture there. Straight up, control down, and rest. Beautiful. Opposite side of the body for that single arm deadlift or high pull if you're following me. Feet just outside the hips, standing tall, ready, begin. Bowing forward, driving the hips, elbow pulls through. You want to imagine you have a little friend up in the trees or hanging out from your ceiling, and it should be nice and smooth, a little bit faster there, Sharon, if you're going to that high pull, so it shouldn't be a struggle. That looks better. Drive the hips, elbows high, and you do feet wider. So it's that sumo deadlift position. Yep, hinging over, hips drive, and then the elbow follows through. And 2, 1, and rest. Good job. Back to our cross crawl. We're gonna go march and punch this round. Sharon, I'd stick with the deadlift, not the high pull. Ready, and begin. Knees up, punching across. If you wanna add a little skip to it, you can. Or just keep it a general march. There you go. Hips nice and level. Keeping those arms up by the shoulders best you can. Good, 10 more seconds. Lift the knees, lift the feet. And 2, 1, and rest. All right, we're gonna take right about 30 seconds. Then we'll be starting our third of 5 rounds. Anytime you need a break, just take a round off. Otherwise, grab a drink. Keep your body moving. Going back to that single arm deadlift. As mentioned before, if you like that high pull, stick with it. Otherwise, taking a little bit heavier weight for the deadlift. Standing tall, feel it just outside the hips. Little bend in those knees, midline, pulled in, bowing forward, and here we go. Squeeze the glute, standing tall, and controlling down. Yep, shouldn't feel any strain in the back. Should feel your midline strong, and you're pushing through those legs, generating that force with the legs, and the midline supports the back. So we do all that core work, all that activation work. So when you're going around your house, or suddenly you have to pick up your dog or your child or your grandchild, you can do it without hurting yourself. And 2, 1, and rest. Nice work. Back to our shoulder to overhead. Bringing those feet back in underneath the hips, toes straight on. Ready, begin. Want to be aware of our mid body here. Our ribs tend to lift up in the front. We tend to want to sway back or arch the back. So just imagine front of the ribs, pull them down and in. Chin pulled in. Very good. And squeeze the booty as you push here. Squeezing the glute. Again, if you need to add that little dip and drive, you can. Sinking back into the heels, pushing your knees out as you dip and drive. 2, 1, and rest. Awesome job. Sitting down your overhead weights, headed back to that single arm deadlift. Standing nice and tall, feet outside the hips. Bowing forward, here we go. Breathe in, control down, squeeze and stand. I like to move just nice and deliberate here. Some people like to go more like rapid fire on their workouts, that's fine. Feel free. Just try to make sure that it's sustainable and you're still moving with adequate movement patterns, technique. You don't get sloppy just because you get fast. Move well. And 2, 1, and rest. Set it on down. Alrighty. Bear crawls. Oh, sorry, not bear crawls. Crossfall. You could get down and bear crawl if you want. Otherwise, if you want to stick with that march and punch or alternating knee to elbow. If you want something faster, jumping jacks are great as well. Running high knees. We're using this more of a strength session and recovery session personally today. Good. And also, if you want to slow down even more, you could always pause, knee towards the elbow and hold. Otherwise, just nice and smooth. 2, 1, and there's our rest break. All right, we'll take 30 seconds. We'll be into set 4. Second to last round. All right, moving and grooving over there in Woodstock, Georgia. Always like to see it. 15 seconds. As mentioned, I'm going to go back and demo the high pull for round 4. I'll be back to the deadlift on round 5. So feet just outside the hips, non-dominant arm to start. And here we go. Long spine as you bow forward. Elbows straight up towards the sky. Sometimes people want to bring it back behind them or going straight up. Like, just want to be careful you don't want to knock that dumbbell into the chin. I have done that before. Doesn't feel too good. Almost there. Long spine, bowing forward. And rest and rotate. Awesome job. Back to our shoulder to overhead. Or just take this round off. You could also do some jumping jacks, march, stretch, whatever feels best for you. Otherwise, here starts our 30 seconds. Elbows point forward as you bring them down. Squeezing that booty, squeezing the midline. Nice strong base of support. Halfway. Anytime you need to add those legs in, give a little extra boost and then control it down. Dip and drive. Good. Midline strong, no arching. Looks great. And rest. Fantastic. High polar deadlift. Opposite arm, your non-dominant arm this time. Set those feet just outside the hips. Ready? Here we go. Long spine as you bow forward. Bring that elbow high. Breathe into lower. Exhale as you drive up. Excellent. I'm watching y'all there at home, but otherwise, if you don't need to see what I'm doing, bow down, head down. When you're at the top, looking straight ahead from there. Good. Stacking the shoulders straight over the hips and rest. Woo, woo. Blood flow. Ready? You can dance. What are we gonna do this time? We're gonna go back to that march and punch. 30 seconds here. Add that skip if you'd like. I invite you to add that little cross-body punch. Good. Smile, have some fun. All right. 2, 1, that's our halfway. And I'm gonna finish the set with some jump jacks. Feel free to step. Just some general blood flow here. Good. 2, 1, and there's our rest. 30 seconds. We'll be back for our 5th and final set. Nice work. If you're 4 rounds in, you feel like I've had enough for the day, just kind of hang out. You can start a little bit of stretching, see how your body's feeling. Otherwise, we have one more circuit after this, working on some core work. Going in 5, standing tall, and begin. Keep pushing those knees out. Long spine here. And you're using that upper body. Keep that weight close. So I'm setting it down, or I'm bringing it like right between my legs. Sets down right by the ankles. Over halfway. Fantastic. And 2, 1, rest and rotate. Final overhead work. Remember to bring those feet back in, point those toes straight ahead. Ready? Here we go. And again, if you want to give a little break to that upper body, little fewer reps, alternate arms, one arm then the other, or both arms together. Halfway through. Anytime you need to add those legs, heels down as you sit back with the chest tall. Good, almost there. And rest. Awesome job, almost done. Back to that single arm deadlift in your dominant arm. Stand tall, bring that weight right between the legs. Ready, begin. I look like a pendulum here. Bowing forward, standing straight up, long spine. about pushing those hips straight back. Good, halfway. Excellent. Making sure we don't allow those hips to twist. When we're holding weight on one side of the body, there tends to be that tendency to kind of twist the torso a little bit. And rest. Woo! Don't rest too long. We've got that blood flow work. So anything you'd like to do? We're going to go back to what we did a little bit on the first round. The behind the back, cross crawl, trying to grab your opposite heel. Reach for that foot and switch. Lifting up through the midline. Very good. Woo! Halfway through. Running high knees as well. If you want a faster option, I'm going to finish this all the way through. Reach, down, back. Training the brain as much as we're training the body. Just give out one more on each side. And all done there. Woo! All right, give yourself a little mini round of applause. If you got a friend nearby, give them a high five. Let's grab your water bottle for a moment. And we're gonna make our way to the floor. All right. We're gonna be doing some lower core work with the hollow holds or the leg lifts, as well as either a bridge, or if you're comfortable with a bridge with the upper body, we'll do a tabletop bridge with the upper body. I'm gonna take you through 3 rounds, and then we'll go into a stretch. So first one's gonna be our hollow. So you're gonna go ahead and come all the way down to your back. If you know the hollow and wanna go right through it to it, either bent legs or straight legs lifting up. On set 1, I'm gonna do the tuck ups. So with the legs bent, okay? You can also go legs straight here, but whenever you're ready, you're gonna lift the hips off the ground and then just nice and slow, bringing them down, trying to really emphasize pushing that low back into the floor as you lift them up. So we'll work for 30 seconds here. Smooth, pushing that spine into the floor, not letting that low back arch as you bring those feet down. You feel like you're confident with that full range of motion there, you can start to lengthen the legs, straight legs, and then you're lifting them back up before that back arches. 1 or 2 more. Last one. And rest. All right. Next is going to be either the glute bridge or the tabletop. So that glute bridge like we did earlier in the warm-up, or the tabletop. I'm going to place my hands behind me, turn the fingers away, or you can face them in, whatever feels best to your shoulders. When you're ready, you're going to bend the knees, push through your feet, lift the hips, pull the shoulders back and down, pull that chin in, and we're going to go up and down here. So it's a real good opening for the front of the hips, the chest, shoulders. Good. Lifting up out of those shoulders, squeeze the glutes, and control down. Good. Lift, lengthen, squeeze, nice and smooth. 10 more seconds. You also can do like a static hold at the top of that tabletop, but right now we're just kind of introducing this movement. We don't do it a whole lot. And rest. All right, that's set 1. We're gonna do it twice more. Gently roll on back. I'm gonna take it into more of a hollow this time. I'm gonna show it with bent knees. So you can bring the arms up to overhead, and then whenever you're ready, we're gonna lift up like you're trying to make your body into a little boat. Okay, so I'm pushing my low back down, lifting the head gently, keeping it in alignment with the arms. And I'm just really engaging that midline, pushing it down, and then I can rest anytime I want. Come on up anytime you're ready. If you want to give a little bit more challenge, you can extend one leg straight out, point the toe, pull it in, and then the other leg straight out. The more advanced movement would be both legs out, really holding strong, and go ahead and rest. Fantastic. Coming on up. We're going back to our tabletop for the second round. Sitting nice and tall, place those hands into position. And 2, 1, here we go. Driving them up and forward, back and down. Keep moving my hands around, which feels better. I think I like the hands, fingers pointing in towards my body best. Lift, squeeze. Try to start to hold that top position, maybe 2 seconds, 3, 4, 5 seconds. Take making sure you don't compress that upper body. So we're really trying to expand through the chest as you lift up. Couple more. Squeeze and lower. Last one. Pushing through those heels, engaging the back of the body, and rest. Woo! All right, one more time through. Go ahead and make your way back onto your back. Whichever version you want to do, if you want to do leg lifts, the hollow, anything here. Ready, begin. I'm going to go back to that bent knee version, extending out one leg in and then the other. Here comes the train. Good. Anytime you feel like that low back wants to arch, or for me right now, my neck's starting to feel a little tired, you can lower it down. If the neck is tired, you don't want to do that. We'll take about another 20 seconds here. We're going to go into those leg lowering abs, letting the head relax back. Still working that full core here, pulling that low back into the floor. Only bringing those legs down as far as I can keep that low back pushing. Just before I feel like it's going to arch, I lift them back up. Very good. Maybe one more, holding strong. And rest. All right, coming back up for our final bridge into that tabletop. We're gonna go full 45 seconds this time. Set those hands, shoulders back, lifting that chest. Here we go. Practicing that hold at the top. There between 3 and 5 seconds. Taking a moment to rest down and then coming back in. Great time to close the eyes, especially if you got the sun shining right at them. Losing my shadow today. Beautiful job. Coming up on 30 seconds already, so just 15 more to go. We're going to push through that upper body, trying to lengthen. Think about pulling your collarbones, pulling your shoulders long and broad, opening through that chest. Last one. Down, up, and squeeze. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Woohoo! Yay, you did it. Nice work. All right, let's go ahead and spin on over to all fours. Let's take a moment in child's position. Toes together, knees divided. Instead of going straight out, let's go into our child's position side stretch. So you're going to take your hands, walk them over to your right side, take your left hand, reach it out nice and long, and then lower down from there. And then breathe here. Nice deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Try to send that air wherever you feel tension. 1 or 2 more. And release. Good job. Walk those hands to the opposite side. Now it's your right hand. Reach it out nice and long and send those hips back, lowering on down. Good. 1 or 2 more breaths. And release from there. All right, we're gonna go down dog into pigeon into seated twist. So if you have anything that doesn't feel good for pigeon, or if you wanna get a block, go ahead and grab that. Otherwise, join us when you're ready. So we're gonna place those hands down. Go ahead and turn those toes under, draw those hips nice and high. We're gonna start with your left leg. So you'll reach it nice and long, lengthening through that leg, swing that leg forward, square the hips, and go ahead and come on down. Keep a little bit of engagement here as you come into this first pigeon. Gonna come up if you're comfortable to come forward onto the forearms. We'll hold about another 10 seconds here. And we'll give an opportunity if you want to go into called the ultimate stretch, grabbing that back foot, you can, but don't force anything. From here, I'm gonna come back up to a little bit higher position, and then I'm gonna take your right hand to grab the right foot and stay nice and square. We'll hold another 15 seconds here. Breathing. A little bit of a quad stretch on that trail leg. And 2, 1, go ahead and release. Gently sit over onto your left hip, and then you're gonna swing your right leg around for that seated twist. We did this one earlier in the hour. Sitting nice and tall, hug that leg in. We'll give the option to go a little bit deeper on it today. Second time through, so you can walk that hand around. If you want to take your left elbow and kind of work it onto the front of the right thigh, still focus on lengthening and turn that head. Just gaze over your right shoulder. Let's go 3 more breaths here. Close the eyes, breathe in, lengthen. Exhale, gently rotate. Twice more. When you're ready, go ahead and come on out and read the same thing on the opposite side. So this should be your right leg. That's going to be the one to come forward. So going to make your way around, back into down dog. And let's just take a moment here to really stretch out those calves before we jump into that opposite side. So sinking back, walking out those calves, get a nice stretch on the back of the legs. Pedal out maybe about 5 times each side. If you feel like you want to hang out there for a minute, please feel free. And then when you're ready, this time your right leg, you're going to engage it, reach it nice and long, and then swing it forward, square those hips and shoulders. Right, tall, not just dropping that hip. If you want to come down a little bit here, you can. This is where you can use a block on the front if you'd like. You can have your arms resting on that block, take some of the strain off. And then back up a bit. Option if you'd like to grab that trail leg, the same side hand. We'll about another 15 seconds here. Lengthening, breathing. And 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release. Coming onto your right hip and swinging that left leg around. Nice and tall. Go ahead and hug that leg in. Use your left hand, kind of curl that hand around. You can work that right elbow on the outside of the thigh if you'd like. Lengthen to the spine as you gently turn the head. Close those eyes. Let's go 3 breaths here. In through the nose, lengthen through the spine, out through the mouth, gently rotate. Good. When you're ready, go ahead and come on out of that. And normally I leave you on your back, but today we're going to just do a couple more stretches from a seated position. After that overhead work, I like to give a little attention to the neck, upper shoulders. So let's come a little closer for that. All right. So we're going to start by sitting up nice and tall. Pull that chin in, and we're going to just ever so gently pull the chin in, looking down towards the chest. Holding there for a moment. Coming back to center, and then gently looking straight up. Very good. Coming back to center. From here, we're going to do it twice more. If you want to add a little overpressure, very gently. So we'll look down first, fingertips, like I'm putting a nickel or a quarter on top of your head. So barely touching here, but just engaging a little bit of overpressure. Get a nice gentle stretch on the back of the neck. And when you're ready, go ahead and release and come on up. When you look up, you can cross the hands just underneath the collarbone. Just give a gentle downward tissue pull, and then look up from there. So start by looking straight ahead and then look up. Very good. Back to center. Once more each way. Sit tall, chin towards the chest, looking down, fingers on the head. Breathe here, 2 to 3 breaths. It's not a, don't really hold the neck stretches a very long time, just enough to encourage a little extra movement. And then hands here first, pulling down and gently looking up. Very good. We're going to go side to side this time. So come back to center. If you're comfortable with that downward tissue pull, we'll stick with it. You're going to look up and then take your chin, and like you're trying to turn your chin to look over your, your right shoulder. So turning my chin in that direction, then peer with your eyes as well. Like far can you look? And you feel this just ever so much on the front of the neck on the right side. And then gently come back to center. Same thing other way. Gently pulling down, lift the chin, turn the head like you're trying to look over your left shoulder this time, and then turn those eyes, like how far can you look in that direction? Now you should feel it on the front side of your front of your left neck. Holding for a moment, back to center once more each way. Down, up, gently rotate. Lifting the chin, turning the eyes, and release. Last time. Straight up, crossed, and peer over that direction. Very good, and release. All right, fantastic. From here, just some gentle neck circles down to the chest, around. Just feeling what feels smooth and nice. Reverse directions when you're ready. All right. And then they're going to end with just a few breaths here. If you feel tight in your upper traps tomorrow, obviously you can kind of give yourself a little massage. Maybe you get a friend or a partner in your life that will rub your shoulders for you. Otherwise, you can kind of work on yourself, give yourself a little relief, and you can use your breathing as well to help reduce some of that tension. So let's do this together. We're going to breathe in, lift those shoulders up towards the ears, palms facing towards you, and then as you exhale, bring them back and down. Good. Breathe in through the nose. Lift them up and in, and exhale. Pull those shoulders back and down. Good. Once more. Lift them up, shoulders up towards the ears. Breathing in and exhale. Pull them down. Train them to sit back and down, that nice open chest. All right. Beautiful job. Thank you so much. Stay hydrated, eat some vegetables, and we hope to see you next time.